ladies and gentlemen, I got a little bit of a life talk slash rant video for you guys today. So Disney adults are some of the worst people you'll ever meet. Not only are they really fucking annoying and will get under your skin for those basic things, they're also entitled, and all of them are like 600 pounds. So yeah, there's that. That's not being fat phobic, by the way. It's just a general fact. But yeah, I would like to talk about my experience with a Disney adult that I had a couple years ago. So this was back in 2024. It was around the summertime because I remember this time period, and this was a very bad time in my life when I had just lost my best friend, who was my pet rabbit. And you know, I had my rabbit for years. I had him for nearly a decade. And he died in July of 2024. So when he died, I was devastated, and I didn't really feel like doing anything. But then one of my friends had their birthday party later on in August. And so they invited me to their birthday party, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. Why not? I'll go there and support you. And so I went, and things were going swell, and I feel like an hour or two in, and I just remember talking to my friend, and she had her friend there. My friend's name, I'll call her Lola. Very Disney-like name. But her friend was there, and in terms of Disney, I'll call her Esmeralda. So Lola and Esmeralda, they're very close with each other, but I'm only just generally close with Lola. So I was just talking with Lola, and then Esmeralda comes by, and her and Lola just start talking about like, hey, so when you want to go home, do you want Matt, my name, to take you, or do you want Ned to take you? Ned and Lola were dating, and at that time, and you know, I just kind of stood there like, just listened to the conversation because I was just in close by range, and you know, me and Lola were just talking just in general prior to this, so. You know, and since my name is coming up, like, I'll just be like, alright, I guess I have to stay here now. I guess another thing that I should mention is me and Lola have always lived, like, close to each other. We literally are, like, a street apart, and our houses are literally, like, touching each other, I guess, on, like, the opposite ends of, like, the street. So, like, it would just generally make sense to obviously, you know, be like, yeah, I mean, me as a choice does make sense. But also her boyfriend was there too. So, like, I don't know why, it was just a question in general, like, I wouldn't mind, you know, me bringing her home, just like walking her home. I would have been completely fine with that. But again, her boyfriend was there, and he actually drives, so like, from the get-go, it would just make sense if, like, he were to take her home. Even though, keep in mind, the birthday party I was at, my friend literally lived, like, 2 streets down away from us, so it didn't matter anyway. Like, if she walked home just fine, it would have still made sense, obviously. But they're just talking, and, I want to have a side note. First off, I'm sick right now, so I'm sorry if I, you know, am not talking well and I sound sluggish, that is why. And also, this happened, you know, nearly 2 years ago, so some details are a little bit scrubbed from my mind, unfortunately. So I'll try and tell the story in as much detail as I possibly can. But I just remember Esmeralda basically going like, you should probably go home with Ned because, you know, Matt, and then I saw her turn towards me with just like a look of like, you know, skepticism, I guess. She just went, Matt, he's a little rapey. Like, not those exact words. That's what she was insinuating. But like, she turned to me and was like, Matt, I don't trust him. You know, you should probably just go home with Ned. So, yeah. I just stood there like, huh? Like, what did this woman just say in front of me? And then Lola just starts like yelling at Esmeralda like, "What, bro? Like, his pet rabbit just died. Like, what are you doing?" And Esmeralda just turns into like a sob fest pretty much, where she deserves a nomination for this, like an Emmy for this, really. But like, she just turns at me and just goes like, "Oh my god, really? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel so bad." And I just remember sitting there like, just like, I mean, I guess, okay, cool. And I just was like, just so bewildered that like, you call somebody, like, you insinuate that someone is rapey, right? And then when you are told that like their best friend had died like within the past month, like, you're not generally sorry. You're generally just sorry that like, yeah, my best friend died, but like, don't act like you didn't just call me rapey like 2 seconds ago. I don't know. It just makes me so angry to think about how like she was just like insinuating that I was like going to like touch my friend on the way back to her house. Like, not that I would, regardless. Like, I've known Lola for like practically my entire life pretty much, and not once had I considered like ever touching her in a way where it would make her uncomfortable, because that's just the way that you should just be as like a genuinely decent human being. So the fact that like, she tried to apologize when she found out that my rabbit died, and that was the only reason why she would apologize, like, I don't know. I know I repeat myself a lot, but like, I hope everybody can see why that is just such a stupid reason to apologize. Like, you cannot call somebody insinuate that somebody is rapey, and then the third party in the conversation, if like they tell you that there's been a death in their life recently, that does not mean you can apologize at all. So I don't know, I just find it so bewildering that like she thought I was going to accept the apology. And I don't think I remember being like, "Oh yeah, it's okay." I just think I just remember standing there like, uh-huh. And yeah, I since then I have blocked this woman, Esmeralda, anytime I've seen her anywhere on social media. I've blocked her accounts on Snapchat, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Discord. Literally every single app known to mankind, I've literally just blocked her. Because, to me, false accusations are a real thing that exist, and, I feel like people like Esmeralda are one of those people who will be like, "Oh, if false accusations don't exist, like, what are you talking about? Like, false accusations do exist." I'm not saying like when she accused me of being like rapey, that like she was like insinuating that I, actually probably was, or that she was going to go out me publicly at all. But like, there's been tons of like public things in the past where there has been like public accusations against people, and it can quite literally ruin somebody's life. I'm not trying to say like this is something where it's just like, oh, don't trust victims. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. If like somebody comes out and says that they have been taken advantage of or they were touched inappropriately, you know, that's not a means to attack them at all. There's always, you know, victims of sexual assaults and rapings. That I don't know why I said rapings like that. Just rape in general. And you know, they should be taken as seriously as possible, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I just have dealt with stuff in the past myself where at work especially I've been, you know, sexually harassed by, you know, a couple people, and even touched a couple times, not that much, but like it just like 2 or 3 times by different older guys, and it really, you know, did fuck with me. So like I know how it does feel to be like on the opposing end. Thankfully not on the opposite end of like anything too major, obviously, but like, so I'm not trying to insinuate that like, oh, don't trust victims when they like bring up accusations at all. I'm not trying to say that. Because I feel the need to throw this out there because I know this is such an important topic. With like this entire thing in general, so I just wanted to disclose that information. But you know, I do not want to make it seem like if you get bad vibes from people, that is your opinion, and I respect that. It's just when you make a baseless claim like that to somebody's face, that is an issue I kind of have with, especially when you don't know them. I don't know Esmeralda at all. I've literally barely spoken to her like more than a handful of times. The only time I hung out with Esmeralda was at friend gatherings, and the one time I asked her to do anything with me was when we were trying to set up something to watch a movie a few years ago for Halloween Ends, and I invited her, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll come. And then, you know, that was the only time that we really talked in DMs with each other, and I was just like, yeah, so here's what's happening, here's who's going, feel free to do all this, and then all that stuff. And you know, the times that she's seen me in public with friends around, you know, I'm a little bit of a joking man, you know. I like to be like, you know, you know, a little goofy man where like I just, yeah, I don't like mean that as like I stir up trouble, okay? I just like, I like joking around with my friends, you know, being stupid and, you know, just goofing around with them. Yes, I might get loud, but that's because I'm with my friends, obviously. So yeah, the stuff that she's seen from me is just literally being a goofy fucking idiot who, yes, is probably annoying at times, but I've literally calmed down the last couple of times in the past couple of years that I've hung out with my friends. So, you know, I don't know. I generally have no idea why she had the thought process of I would do something like that. I have literally zero respect for people who just do touch people inappropriately, and you know, obviously I have zero fucking room for what's the word, like room for patience with people who have actually taken advantage of people in worse ways as well. So the fact that Esmeralda literally had a baseless claim against me where I would have done something like this, I'm just not cool with. You know, it's annoying for sure, and I don't understand why she thought that was okay, but you know, that is about that. I am still sick, like I was in the last video, so I'm incredibly stuffy, so yeah, hopefully, you know, you guys enjoyed this video. I should hopefully have more videos in the coming weeks. I do want to plan on doing a video every week. I don't know if I talked about that, but I probably talked about that in the New Year's video. But yeah, so that will do it. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I don't know, that's really all I have to say. I'm just trying to prolong this way so I can finish it and then end the video. Okay, bye.